I think it's time for a digital detox. A little brief about what digital detox really is. It's when you completely detach from all of the screens and the gadgets, like even your smart TVs, like you don't do anything. You prefer to do something else instead, where you don't, of course, you're not tuned in into television, you're not tuned in into screens, but you're actually reading books or you're hanging out with your friends, you're actually doing normal human things which do not relate to screens. We all live in a generation where we're attached to the hip with our phones, our laptops, our iPads, our tablets, our television screens. Completely depends. And sometimes, you know what, it's not even voluntary. It's because you're at work. You have to be glued to your screen because, or else people are going to think that, oh, she doesn't work. Oh, he or she doesn't work. And, they're wasting time. But really, what's actually happening is you're so glued to your screen that it increases cognitive load. Now, I think we all can relate to this one. Sometimes you're feeling a little foggy, you're feeling a little drained, you're feeling a little tired, you're feeling like there's something heavy in your head. That's majorly because of your excessive screen time. It can be from XYZ reasons, but it's majorly because of that. So, once you start detoxing, once you start detaching from all of the screens and the gadgets in your life, you know what, it doesn't even have to be for the rest of the day, it doesn't even have to be for a whole day, it can just be for a couple of hours where you're doing something else entirely that requires your focus, that requires your clarity for you to be actually present in that moment. Now such things can look like you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're working out, hanging out with your friends, you're talking, you're walking your dog, you're sleeping. It could be literally anything which is productive. You know what happens when you do this, you reduce cognitive load on your brain. And when you reduce cognitive load on your brain, you're not anxious, you're not depressed, you're not sad, you're not miserable, you're not in that funky space at all. And what that makes room for is now you become a lot more productive, you become a lot more active, you have mental clarity, you have focus. Now you know what your priorities are and you can actually do the thing that you need to do. What happens is when you're glued to your phones, when you're glued to your screens, your tablets, whatever it is, you're increasing dopamine dependency. Now, what that means is you constantly need that phone, that screen, your Instagram, your YouTube reels for a hit of dopamine. That means your body is seeking dopamine in the wrong places instead of in the right places. That is from food, from workout, from sunlight, from friendship, from actual real relationships in life. Now what that does is it kind of dysregulates your nervous system. Now you need to reset your nervous system, and how you're going to do that is you're going to reduce your screen time. It completely depends. See, a lot of people don't have that privilege to not work, which is fine. I'm not even asking you to do that. But whenever you're not working, of course, you're going to be working from a time slot, right? From 9 to 5, or if you work at the night. But there's going to be a few hours in the middle where you do not work. Use that to do something else entirely, like flip 180 completely. Go hang out with your friends, go catch a break, look outside, like don't do anything related to screens at all. Now it's become so important to highlight this and bring awareness to this is because all of us are glued to our phones, all of us are glued to screens in this generation in 2025. But you know what, it's really, really important to do this, to detox from your gadgets sometimes, because it's actually known to scientifically improve and boost productivity. There are literal studies that have shown increased efficiency, increased memory, focus, clarity in people who've reduced their screen times, or they do not use screens at all. Your screens, well, you know what? If you feel like you're slacking, if you're running behind, you're not able to complete targets on time, you're not able to focus, it's majorly because of your high amounts of screen time. Now, when you reduce that screen time, people are known to enter a deep work mode phase where it's noticed and it's been studied that people have high levels of productivity, high levels of efficiency, clarity, focus. Their mental health is at their peak, and that means you can actually focus on the task at hand and get it done. Now, the first step you're going to take towards your digital detox journey is you're going to turn off all the notifications. So basically, when you open the app, that's when you know that there are messages, there are notifications, there are emails. And you know what? How you're going to manage that? You're going to open the app once or twice a day, either in the morning or in the evening. You're going to give yourself time slots. In the morning, 1 hour, you're going to finish everything up. In the evening, 1 hour, you're going to finish everything up. And other than that, there are no notifications whatsoever because that is so distracting. There's so many notifications, so many pop-up messages, and you're just constantly curious as to who's messaging you. Sometimes it's not even people who are messaging you. Sometimes it's food apps, it's shopping apps, it's random apps, bank apps that are messaging you, and you're like, that's not even something worth looking at, but you're still looking at it because dopamine hits. You're gonna have phone free zones. Now, I know some people who put their phones in their drawers, keep it on silent, and don't answer. Don't even look at it until, you know what, they actually have that time to engage in some phone distractions. They don't even look at it, they don't care about it. Now, again, of course, it completely depends. Some things may work for somebody, some things may not work for somebody. So you do what feels right. You're gonna have phone free zones where your phone is far away, literally far away. Like if you're working in your room or if you work outside, keep your phone in your drawer, somewhere you can't reach, somewhere you will forget about it entirely. Up until the point it's actually essential where you have to order something, where you have to answer a call or something, or you have to reply to a message from your spouse, your kids, your partner, whoever it is. Someone significant again. Now, the next step to detoxing is you're going to replace that phone time with something productive instead. The productivity can look like anything. It doesn't really have to be you studying, working, or something like that. It can be reading a book, journaling, meditating, taking long deep breaths, making time for that. So people who actually crib where they're like, oh, I don't have time for meditation, I don't have time for journaling, I don't have time for this. You know the time that you scroll your phone on Instagram, on YouTube, you're doing random things actually. You're not even doing something productive. Use that time to do all of that. Instead, go to the gym, hang out with your friends, walk your dog if you have a dog, cook, clean. You know what? These are very therapeutic things. Start doing them. You're going to become a lot more focused. You're going to become a lot more present, and mindfulness is going to become a part of you. It's going to integrate into you naturally without you even having to try. Some people go to an extreme level of doing a full detox, which can last up to a week, where they are doing something else entirely different than touching their phones, touching their screens, touching gadgets, which is great. I 110% support that. But if you're not into that, which is fine, I completely understand. You're going to start small. Basically, no screen time 1 hour before bed. That's one thing you can do. No screens, nothing 1 hour before bed. You're gonna do something else entirely. You're gonna have a see. That's when you make space. Now, some things, see, you're gonna get bored initially. You're gonna be like, what do I do? For 1 hour, I can't sleep. I don't know what to do. You're tossing and turning in your bed. The next thing you're going to be like, I'm going to do something. I'm going to read a book. So now you picked up a book. So you're reading a book. Or you go hang out with your family. You talk to your friends in person, in real life, in the present moment. Or you have a night routine where you're doing your skincare, you're listening to some music, you've lit some candles, you're meditating, you're journaling. See, suddenly there'll be a lot of time to do all of the right things. Suddenly you'll be like, wow, I feel so productive. That's the magic of digital detox. Having said that, we come to the end of this brilliant video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you took some valuable information out of it, because it's really important, really essential that we all, digitally detox from time to time, because we're human beings. We're not supposed to be functioning like robots, glued to screens and gadgets all the time. I'll see you guys in my next one. Till then, take care and bye.